Alright, hello guys, Nintendo Fan 96. Welcome back to Team Rose's playthrough of Sonic Heroes. Stuff I didn't get to talk about last time, would be some of the other, attributes distinguish the characters between each other. I had mentioned that Team Rose and Team Chaotic speed characters, which would be Amy and Espio, cannot do the Lightspeed Dash. However, with that, they also gain some different attributes. Amy gets this, whirlwind hammer that can spin that can spin enemies up into the air and basically render them unconscious once they land on the ground. If I can just get back to using the controls properly again. There we go. Things seem to be working right this time. Alright. Sometimes during levels you'll come into these kind of, bobsleds, I believe is what they're called in this game. Okay. It's also useful to match the formation with the type of thing. There's so much stuff to talk about at the very beginning that I don't even know what to start out with. Because everything is thrown at you at this once. You kind of can't just talk about one thing. I mean, you can, but for me, it definitely will take a bit. What other things have I not talked about yet that we need to make sure we mention? That's what you do for not looking at the screen. Okay. Cannons fire in different directions if you're in a different formation. Oh, jeez, I need to get a script or something. Okay. Be prepared to hear that as well, a lot. Because most of these levels are just you defeating the enemies, leveling up, and then just plowing through everything. Here we go. Okay. When you have your Team Blast, you want to make sure you savor it for an actual, good time to use it. Because if you just use it, now, there's, no enemies around here. You're going to want to make sure you save it for a good time. And right here, there's only, well, A, this is the end of the stage, and B, there's only 2 enemies here, so it wouldn't be of good use to use it there. However, I'm going to use it right now because I get the level up, and that'll actually add to your score at the end of the round. So yeah, like in Sonic Adventure 2, you get scored on the level that you went through. Time, how high your levels are, amount of rings you get, will all total up to a total score. Now, for this actual playthrough, I am not going to attempt to try to get all A ranks. I mean, I've gotten all the emblems, I just haven't gotten all A ranks. I don't know if I'll go to the extra missions for those extra emblems that I need, though. Anyways, we are now in Ocean Palace. I did like how they actually remodeled this area in Generations and mixed the two of them together. That was really cool. The sad thing is that I'm not able to play the game because I don't have an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3. And you just going down to the comments box right now being like, oh my gosh, you don't have, the best systems ever. I don't know, I might get one in the future, who knows. Anyways, so, yeah, like in the original Sonic, you have 2 acts and then a boss, the 3rd act, if you want to call it that. There are different types of bosses in this game, but I'll get into that when we get there. For now, I guess I can go back to more differences between the characters. Characters, well, great. Automated stuff and not jumping, and that's what the death screen looks like, I guess. I can explain that. We going back through stuff that I already talked about. And yes, when you lose a life, you lose all of your levels as well, which is really annoying. It also pretty much makes it so you can't get an A rank anymore. Let's try this path this time. Go! Alright, back to where we were. Or around. What? Yeah, this is where we were. Okay, let's actually do this properly this time. There we go. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, so back to the controls of this game, because I didn't cover, like, nearly any of them, because I didn't let Omo Chow speak, and I didn't want that episode to be, like, forever. So, we've pretty much covered the speed types. There's a couple extra attributes that they can do. I already talked about the Lightspeed Dash. Other abilities are the Wall Jump, and that can only be performed with... Actually, that can be performed with everybody except for Amy, which is kind of sad, actually. What do I have to do here again? I just need to bust a crate and find the thing. Yeah, I do. Okay. So yeah. I think that's actually all of the things that, separate, each different character in the speed types. There is one other feature for Team Chaotix, SBO the Chameleon. However, I will get into that when I get there. Which might be the next one, I really don't know. That was... what? Okay, fly types. Every fly type pretty much acts the same way, except if they are actually alone. We'll get into, like, characters, like, being unable to be used in a bit. But, right now we got a boss fight. Wait, what? I went through the ring, and it didn't let me go through the stage. Alright. Am I still gonna get an A rank? What? I still got an A rank and I lost a life. I don't know. Yes, emblems return in this game, and they're pretty pointless, actually. Moving on. Mini cutscene. I'll let the dialogue fill in, even though the dialogue in this game isn't necessarily all that great. So welcome to the Egg Hawk, the first boss you face in every story. Because even though you're playing different stories, you'll still face off against the exact same bosses. Well, there's a slight exception to this rule. However, we'll get to that later. So yeah, Big and both Big and Vector have this, like, body slam, which is very, very useful for bosses on the ground. Yeah, that guy's a pushover. Other than that, there's still some differences between the characters. I might as well just decide, you know what, don't talk about the types in general, we'll talk about what each team can do. But, for now, I think I'll just do 2 zones and a boss fight for each segment. So, we're going to stop it here at Grand Metropolis. However, I'm going to have to wait for, like, a little mini cutscene to go ahead. And then I'll have to pause the game, and we'll continue from there. Okay. At that, we'll cut it quits here. And I'll leave you with something weird to think about. Who does that thing that Amy did with her little pinkies? She, like, put her hands together and, like, used, like, her pinkies to, like, think or something, whatever. Who does that? I might just be picking fun on Amy Rose right now, but I don't know. I'll probably stop before I make someone super angry, who is like someone who really likes Amy. Anyways, I guess I'll see you guys in the next part. Later.